Hey there, and welcome back to PCOS Unfiltered, where we ditch the fads and get real about healing with PCOS. I'm your host, Lindsie, and today's episode is extra special because I'm joined by Dr. Anya Szigeti, a chiropractic internist specializing in functional medicine and nutrition. We're diving into the role of gut health on hormones and PCOS. You're going to walk away with real-world insights, a few laughs, and lots of empowerment. So let's jump in. So what are some common mistakes that women make when trying to fix their gut that may actually make things worse?
So, unfortunately, one of the things that I see is over supplementing without testing and cutting out too many foods and creating like that restrictive fear-based mindset and trying like harsh cleanses. Like I think parasite cleanses are the big thing right now.
Yeah.
Everyone's like freaked out about parasites. And again,
Yeah.
that's right up there with candida. If you have a healthy, resilient immune system, your body can flush out those parasites. If your immune system isn't good, we have a lot more to worry about than just parasites.
Mhm.
Like, let's
Yeah.
get your immune system resilient again, and then it can handle all the stuff that life throws at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's where we also have to, kind of do some I don't want to say some digging, like just self-reflecting on our own too, because yeah, either you get into that restrictive mindset, you can't stick with it, like you were talking about your patient. And I feel like, I mean, for me, it was super easy, but I've realized like giving up things. But for
Mhm.
others, I've realized it's definitely not that easy. And so that's where we have to really think like, what is our attachment, to that food? And sometimes it can be something really deep. Like, is there some emotional connection there
Yes.
that's making us go back to that food? Or is it just your habit because your mind likes to keep you safe?
Mhm.
So, when you wake up every morning, you go right to the coffee machine first, that's what it's used to, and that's what it wants to make sure that you keep doing. And so, yeah, you have to kind of do some self-reflection there too. I've mentioned journaling before. Again, that could be a love-hate relationship, but even
Mhm.
just jotting down a few of those things, like especially around food and connections to food, that can be very eye-opening as well, along with that, that food timeline tool too.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about over-the-counter gut supplements or probiotic trends? Are they helpful or are they just hype?
I think that there are some that are helpful, but I also know that without knowing what your specific imbalances are, many of them can do more harm than good. So if we think about the body loves balance. And if we take probiotics, for example, they aren't one size fits all at all. And unfortunately, some manufacturing companies found that certain strains were considered to be beneficial, and they were also very easy to grow in a lab and mass produce cheaply. So you will find those very easily on any store shelf. But that's typically one of the most common overgrowths that I see on my diagnostic testing. And it can come with unpleasant symptoms. So the testing that I do, the lab has figured out that there are certain ranges of beneficial bacteria that the body loves. But again, too much is a problem and too little is a problem. So it wants to be within that range. So this particular strain, I will often see it elevated because it's in just about every type of probiotic that's commercially available. So
Yeah.
that's my caution with that is, you can get probiotic rich foods. And I think that that's a better choice for somebody that maybe is just starting out or, hasn't done testing, because that way the body can almost kind of pick and choose what it needs and keep what it needs. So things like sauerkraut, for example, I love sauerkraut. Like you can make your own very easily.
Mhm.
It's a, probiotic rich food that typically doesn't cause any issues. If it does cause gut symptoms, that's just a way to let you know that you have deeper imbalances that you need to work on. So that's just
Yeah.
simply like an easy alert system to say, oh, okay, I eat, a couple bites of sauerkraut and I get bloating, then okay, I definitely have some imbalances that I need to maybe, hire someone to investigate further and figure out what's going on.
Yes. Yeah, I love this topic of like supplements and yeah, especially with some of the trends and all that stuff around it. Because I'm not against them, but it can be one of those quick fixes still. Yeah, it's not a prescription, but it can still kind of be one of those quick fixes. So if you're not doing all that other work and just taking the pill or the supplement, the whatever it is, the injection, like you're
Yeah.
not going to fix anything long term. Sure, you might feel better in the short term, but long term, you're not going to fix anything. Could even be doing more damage in the long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still like a lot of other stuff that has to go along with those supplements. And unfortunately, I think a lot of them get misused, to just heal in the moment, or try to fix something in the moment.
Yeah. You can't out supplement a poor diet, and you what I'm here for.
I was waiting for that.
But also just something to think about if something has a commercial or uh like you're getting pinged on it from social media ad or something like that. Um I would give that an extra pause because
Mhm.
you have to think about where's that company's priorities? Is it in the advertising dollars or is it in your health?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
typically not in your health.
Yeah. Yeah. You said that to me a long time ago. I feel like a long time ago now, but but yeah, I mean, when you think about it, there's fast food commercials, there's lots of prescription commercials with when they list all the side effects. And then yeah, and then now we are seeing these supplement commercials I think a lot more on social media. But yeah, that's when you have to really think, if they
Yeah,
have to have a commercial for it, is it really that good for us? For sure.
exactly.
So how do you encourage women who feel discouraged when they don't see results right away?
This is a big one. And this was a big one for me too, because we're very productivity focused and results focused in this country. But healing is not linear. Just like I was saying with the hair, skin, and nails piece, the body is going to focus its energies and resources on what it knows is the most important. And that's often not what our goals are, fortunately. But our bodies are smart, they're beautiful, they are working for us, not against us. And very often we need to actually get the frick out of the way and let it do its thing. And this can be, on my journey was very challenging for me because our bodies need rest when we're healing. And I was not good at resting or pausing at all. I was terrible at it, actually.
Yeah, I've learned to
And
be better.
yeah, so that's part of the process of the healing journey is learning what your body is asking for and then actually giving your body that. So giving your
Yeah.
body the chance to rest and heal was super huge for me and it's huge for my patients because a lot of my patients are very much like me. We're type A, go-getters, productivity, want to see results, boom, boom, boom. And those are the ones that we need to meditate the most. And it's
Yeah.
really impossible, but we have to, give our body what it needs, and that's what it's asking for. Um,
Yeah.
and so just, have that gentle reminder, our bodies are working for us. It's working towards balancing. Even small improvements mean progress and celebrating every little win.
Mhm.
But then again, giving yourself grace for, the beautiful storms and ebbs and flow of life that come, and they're going to come, and just breathing through them and just knowing that your body is healing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one huge thing for me on my journey that because my body's been telling me something for years. I wasn't listening. Once I
Mhm.
finally had my wake up call, I was so much more in tune with my body. And so then, and I wouldn't say it was like hyper, because you can obviously like take that to the extreme, but it was just then like something gets off, I notice a skin rash or something like I can think of the time I was going through another stressful moment and my skin was telling me something. And like, then I was able to say, you know what? Okay, something is off again. And I need to, yeah, I really need to evaluate, what I'm doing and how to decrease my stress and manage my stress. And yeah, you definitely become more in tune with what your body is telling you for sure.
Yeah, I definitely look back on my diagnosis of Hashimoto's with different, emotions at different phases of my life. And
Hmm.
I had this discussion with one of my patients last week, and I was like, the emotion that I'm having right now, I used to have anger. I used to be pissed off. I used to be, play the pity party of like, why me? I'm like healthy. I'm doing all the things. Like, how did this happen? Like, I went through
Hmm.
all of that. But most recently, I'm feeling gratitude. I'm grateful for it because it was a freaking wake up call
Yeah,
on a terrible path for my health, and I was
exactly.
making terrible choices. And so I needed to be slapped back onto track. And I'm very thankful that I did. And I'm thankful that I changed the course of not only my health, but the trajectory of my life as well. And I'm
Mhm.
so, blessed and grateful for where my life is now and the things I'm able to do and the people I'm able to help. And it's beautiful. So I'm grateful for it because had I not had that diagnosis, I don't think I'd be where I am today.
Yeah, I love that. I'm right there with you. I mean, yeah, like I've said it from, I mean, once I started my health coaching practice, but I just feel like everything has led me to this, from being in healthcare and a nurse. I mean, I was in, bedside because I was CNA before I was a nurse, like almost 20 years basically. And then to the gym where I thought it was all about exercise and fitness and that's what was going to make you healthy, to yeah, finally having my wake up call during that time.
Mhm.
It's just all kind of taught me something along the way and led me to here and been, helps my ability to help my patients even more for
Yeah,
sure.
beautiful.
So what's one myth you'd love to bust about gut health or hormone healing? I'm sure you probably have more than one, but
So many. Let's see. I'm going to share a couple. Okay. Start with just one is that it's all in your head, or that you just need to lose weight, like the whole exercise more, eat less
Hmm.
lie. um, and like the all in your head, I was told that too when I would go to my doctor with my laundry list of symptoms, and they're like, "No, we'll just pick one and we'll focus on that today." And I'm like, "No, but they're all like they're all
Yeah.
me." Um, because like symptoms, not that with holistic functional medicine, I'm not chasing symptoms, but symptoms are real. They're real signals. They're secret messages from your body that it's asking for help, that something is going on, that something's out of balance and it needs our attention. So when we ignore them, we mute them, we attempt to silence them with, over the counter or prescription, etc., our bodies are just going to keep turning up the volume until it gets our attention.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I talk about this in the first, I have like a 3-part series, in the very first episodes of my podcast. But deep down, like if you know something is going on and the doctor is saying, oh, all your labs look fine. No, you need to do some more in-depth research. And that can even be on your own, take control of your own health. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. And yes, you do have to be cautious, but I feel like you can still start doing your own research and start learning. Um, because yeah, unfortunately, traditional medicine just looks at like individual things and they don't put the big puzzle together. Um, and yeah, I can get lost. And then of course going into the weight loss piece for sure. Yeah, maybe calories in versus calories out like worked way back in the day, but it's not that simple anymore. And especially that's when I think a lot of the sensitivities and intolerances tie into that because it's not that simple anymore. Remember Weight Watchers was huge. I'm back in the day. I think just about every potential client that I've talked to has tried Weight Watchers. Yeah, because you could still eat some of those bad things,
Which is the
but
point.
yeah, but it's unfortunately just not that way for most of us anymore.
Yeah.
Um, so what's one truth you want every woman with PCOS to know when it comes to her gut and long-term health?
Oh, I love this. The biggest truth that I want literally every woman to know is that you have more power over your own health than you've been led to believe. And if we talk about the gut, it's not just a digestive organ. It is literally like a command center. It's actually been dubbed the second brain, or it might even be the first brain, depending on which way you look at it. And then really focusing on leaning into your intuition, leaning into your symptoms. What is your body trying to tell you? You live in your body. You know it better than anybody else. And I think that again, another, thing that we've been misled in our society is to mute and mask and stuff everything down and just ignore it. But when you really lean in and tune in, and whether it's through meditation or journaling or quiet time or whatever you need to do to just really tune into yourself and learn yourself, that that changes everything right there, because then you know that something's off and you can advocate for yourself, you can do the
Mhm.
research and dive. And that's what I had to do, really dive in for my own health, because my doctor was running labs and keep telling me everything's normal, everything's normal. I'm like, no, literally, like I feel like complete garbage, like something is off. Something's
Yeah.
wrong. I'm way too young to feel this tired. Like,
Yeah.
not good. And so I had to research what test for my MD to even run for me to get my diagnosis. And so I went to her and begged, and I'm like, please run these tests that are literally like like they're $10, $15. Like, it's not expensive. I
Mhm.
don't know why you're not. I run them on every female patient, unfortunately, because Hashimoto's is so prevalent and so underdiagnosed. But just again, just trust in yourself, um, and be your own advocate and lean into what your body's trying to tell you, and reach out to resources that are here to help you and guide you on this journey.
Yeah. It's a good way to end it. Last question. Where can listeners learn more about your work and connect with you?
So I'm trying my best to be great with social media. Talking about it before we recorded, it is definitely, a struggle for both of us. We're both introverted, and it's hard to really put ourselves out there. But I try to be on Instagram and Facebook, educating as much as I can. I do have a lot of information on my website, and I'll share all the links with Lindsie so she can put it on.
Mhm.
And then I did just launch a holistic Hashimoto's healing community for us women, dealing with hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, to help to grow and thrive together. And I don't think we really touched on it all, but I do have a best-selling book, You Can't Outrun Your Fork. It's on Amazon, and it's basically the guidebook that I wish I had when I was starting my health journey. It shares a lot about my health journey, things I learned along my health journey, and lots of resources for shopping, prepping, and then 100 plus of my favorite anti-inflammatory, gluten-free recipes that are delicious and easy to make and don't have
Mhm.
crazy ingredients that you can, find relatively easily. And so if you're just starting out on your journey and want some guidance and delicious recipes, it's a good place to start.
Yes, love the recipes on that one. Yeah, that's a huge one. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that is all we have. Hint, hint, there might be another one. Because as Dr. Anya's talked about with Hashimoto's, finding a lot of women that have Hashimoto's and PCOS together. So I think Dr. Anya might be a guest in the future as well. Wow, what an amazing conversation. Big thanks to Dr. Anya for sharing her time, her wisdom, and her heart with us today. I hope you're feeling as inspired and empowered as I am. If you'd like to connect with Dr. Anya, you can find all the info in the show notes. And if you loved today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share it with a friend who needs to hear it, and leave a quick review. It helps us reach even more amazing women just like you. Until next time, keep nourishing your body, healing your heart, and thriving, unfiltered and unstoppable.